spike in Paris, a few passers-by are constantly looking for shade. With his infrared camera, Olivier Papin is measuring the differences in temperature in direct sunlight and in the shade of the surrounding trees. His aim is to map the capital's hottest points.
In direct sunlight, the bitumen hits 50 degrees Celsius, but in the shade it cools down to 35. Trees have this great characteristic of being evapotranspirators. They absorb water from the soil through their roots, transmit it through the trunk, branches and leaves, where it escapes through pores. When it escapes, the water cools the ambient air, meaning that, as well as the shade they provide, trees are natural air coolers.
Florence Berthout is the mayor of the French capital's 5th arrondissement. She's convinced that going green is the way forward. And when the ground doesn't allow for a tree to be planted, she says there are countless alternatives.
Here you have Heuchera, phlox, and here's some fuchsias. What's important is the diversity of plants and flowers, but also their heat resistance. Because if they need to be watered twice a day, it's pointless.
Planting trees, but also getting rid of concrete. Bitumen and asphalt are the main culprits for the urban heat island effect.
The fact that underneath you have dense concrete only makes things worse. It acts like a giant heat reservoir, and when night falls, all that heat that is built up during the day is released into the atmosphere.
Engineers recommend the street's coating be replaced by cobblestones, porous concrete or stabilized soil, a mix of sand and gravel, mostly used in parks.
This coating is very bright, almost blinding, but its main advantage is that during the day it reflects the sun's rays, meaning that there is no heat retained, and when night falls, it immediately feels cool.
In an effort to keep temperatures down, the mayor of Paris wants to plant 35 acres of trees and vegetation across the city. That's the equivalent of 20 football pitches. A drop in the ocean compared to the 26,000 acres covered by the French capital.